For some reason, I really like to embarrass myself on this account. So we're going to talk about the time I was sent to the hospital from school because I had to use the bathroom really bad. Okay, so 7th grade, sitting in my science class. My science teacher's name is Miss Bacon. Does that matter? No, but I remember. So, if you're seeing this, Miss Bacon, hi. She was very strict, so I didn't want to have to ask to go to the bathroom, but I really had to go. It's first period. Why do I have to use the bathroom? Who knows? So it gets to the point where I'm like, okay, I really have to go to the bathroom really bad. Like, I'm gonna have to ask her if I can go to the bathroom. I get up, go up to her. I'm like, hey, I gotta use the bathroom. She's like, not right now. Someone's in the bathroom already. So you have to wait until I get back. Just my luck. This person, I don't know what they're doing in that bathroom. I really don't want to know what they were doing in that bathroom, but they were taking forever and I was about to literally lose my mind. I had to go so bad. So I go up to her. I'm like, okay, you don't understand the situation. I'm literally like, I gotta go to the bathroom. Like, it's gonna be worse for you if I do not go right now. And she's like, okay, well, yeah, you can go. I don't even sign out. I book it. For context, the bathroom is literally not even, it's like a 30-second walk and it's right across from the office. So I'm on my way to the bathroom. I'm like speed walking, like trying to get there as fast as I possibly can. And then I'm starting to feel like numbness, like a whole wave of like I was in a lucid dream or something like that. I don't know what that feeling was. I never really felt it before. And thankfully I see one of the administration people on like where the bathroom is across from the office. So I'm like, hey, I'm not feeling so good. And the next thing I remember is I'm waking up in the office on the school chair with like the entire crew of office administration people around me asking me all these questions or whatever, like, who's the president? What's your name? Like, what's your mom's phone number? I'm like, chill. But I do know my mom's phone number. So I'm telling them my mom's phone number. Apparently I'm slurring my words. They thought I was on drugs. I was not. So they call the ambulance and I'm telling the ambulance guy, please do not stick me with a needle. I will literally cry. Please do not do that. And so he's like, okay, I won't do it. I vividly remember one of the most strict office administration ladies being in the ambulance with me, like being so fascinated and so excited to be in this ambulance while I'm literally dying. I actually remember that, and she was having such a great time, like asking the people in the ambulance like everything about their job and like, oh my god, this is so cool. I'm pretty sure she took a picture in there too. Shout out her. She was really nice to me though. Anyways, we get to the ER or whatever. I still had not used the bathroom at that point, now that I'm thinking about it. I really hope I did not use the bathroom on myself, but I never used the bathroom. That's a little weird. Anyways, I get there. My mom gets there eventually. The office administration lady reluctantly leaves. She really wanted to stay because she was having such a grand old time. Honestly, I would too, so no hate. Think. Oh, well, basically they run a bunch of tests and do like a whole bunch of needles and stuff, even though I didn't want to, and honestly wasn't necessary, because they come back and they tell me, hey, you have a condition called vasovagal. I don't know what that is, and I'm pretty sure 99% of the population doesn't know what that is. So I'll give you a little quick rundown because I quite literally don't really understand it myself. But basically, you faint under certain conditions, and one of those conditions being if you have to use the bathroom really bad, which I did, so I fainted. To conclude, I was not on drugs. The school did think I was, so that's why they sent me to the hospital, not because I fainted, but because I was slurring my words. But yeah, I do have a condition where I faint under a lot of conditions, which I have plenty of story times about me fainting, because I do that a lot, But yeah, I just thought I would share, and this is probably really embarrassing So yeah, that's the story time.
So I was talking to this boy from Hinge. We had like made plans to go out this Monday that just passed, and I was honestly kind of excited. Super cute, looked like he had a fun life, passed most of the tests that I have for like a man's Hinge profile. Also, damn, this filter's not even covering up these zits. That's so tragic. But we were texting back and forth, fun, fresh, whatever. We had our plans on Monday. He texted me like Sunday night at 2 a.m. He's in the industry, which kind of is a red flag to me, but like depending on what industry you're in, I don't know. I just feel like after like 27, you should have, as a man, at least like a career. Because my husband surely is not at the bar serving alcohol and food for the rest of his life. Like, I need a real job. Not that that's not a real job. Oh my God, you guys, dead ass don't come for me. But anyway, we were texting that Sunday, and then he texted me at like 2 a.m. on Monday and was like, oh, I had too many IPAs at work, so now I'm doing the Uber of shame, which, okay, whatever. Can't say that I've never said no to a good IPA, but I texted him back that morning and didn't hear anything from him. So naturally I made other plans and like did my thing. I wasn't going to double text to be like, hey, are we still going out? You haven't texted me all day. Like, you can text me. You can reach out and let me know that we are still on for that night, especially if I texted last. So then he texted me yesterday out of the blue. It's like literally 9 p.m. Okay. I do not do same day dates. I refuse. Like, I need to know at least minimum 24 hours in advance that we're going to do something. So mentally and physically, I can prepare myself, obviously. So he hits me up last night at like 10 p.m. and is like, what's Tay up to this time of night on a Tuesday? Tay's in bed. Tay's resting her sweet little eyeballs horizontal in her bed. What do you mean? So he proceeds to tell me that he wants to take me out, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, hey, so you literally bailed on our plans that we had made 3 days before. Why would I last minute get out of my bed, get ready, and meet you for beers at 10 p.m. when I have literal work the next day at 8 a.m.? That doesn't make any sense. So anyway, he proceeds to send like text after text after text after text after text. I'm not kidding you guys. Literally probably like 15 messages. So I'm like, no, I'm not meeting you out. No, I don't want to drink right now. No, this is not like my vibe right now. And I told him, I said, you are totally more than welcome to plan a day this week, and I will give you a second chance to take me on a date. And, oh, you guys, please. He then follows it up with, well, I just really want to have a good conversation right now. He goes, it's 9:39. I can be out of your house by midnight. What? Like, as a female, yes. Have I invited people that I just met that day to my home? Obviously, like, sorry, slut shamers. Like, I'm not perfect. And also, don't act like you've never done it. And if you haven't done it and you're hating on me, it's because you've never had the opportunity to do it. But anyway, so basically he's asking to come to my house at 10 p.m. at night. No, absolutely not. I would never do that. I tell him, once again, you can plan a date and I will gladly show up and we can totally have a good conversation then. And he keeps begging. So at that point, I just like don't answer anymore because I'm like, okay, I'm going to bed. Like, this is weird. We're not progressing anyway. Like, we're going in circles. You're not taking no for an answer, which also is a red flag for me. If I'm saying no, it means no. I'm not like, oh, keep asking me, please. Maybe if I see you want me to do it enough, I'll do it. No, you're weird. So he proceeds to send me like literally 5 more text messages and be like, I swear, like, nothing will happen. Like, we won't hook up because, like, the Lord is watching our every move. What. Which, I don't know. Like, it's just kind of annoying. Here's the thing. 1, do not try and plan a same-day date with me in general. And 2, especially after you literally ghosted me before we were supposed to go on an actual date. Men just continue to piss me off. I also just want to say thank you for everybody who listens to my videos and my rants, because honestly, like, I feel like I talk in circles sometimes, which I am trying to work on. I'm just like new to the social media thing. But I just want you guys to know I will literally never change. I am who I am through and through to my core. Like, you will never catch me doing what I eat in the day, because if I'm being completely honest, this is what I eat in the day. Plus my Vyvanse. Skinny. I also just like live a kind of boring life other than my dating life. And that's pretty much it. That's all I actually wanted to say. So sorry for again talking in circles, but please don't expect me to be the get ready with me and clean my house day, because it's just not really my brand. My brand is just being annoying.
All right, guys, I am back. Yesterday when I made that video, I didn't realize today was a holiday, so my kids are still home, and I am out here in the car again. But I wanted to make something for you guys, so here we go. You guys said start from the beginning, and a lot of people don't understand how I didn't know so many things. It's because we started off as a contract marriage. We were not a couple, we weren't dating. I didn't know him. I didn't know his family. I was a 19-year-old barber in California. He was a 21-year-old Marine that was originally from the Midwest and was stationed in California. And so that's how we met, and we were just sleeping together. And this whole contract marriage came about, and we decided to do it. And so we met the end of October, and we were married by the beginning of January. So I fully understand how stupid that was. I know. Trust me, 15 years of regret, I know. But that's what we did, and that's how it started. And so I knew nothing. His family didn't even know I existed when we got married. My mom did. My mom actually had met him because I am honest about everything. But anyway, so I didn't know anything. And unfortunately, so when you're in a contract marriage, you can kind of live one of two ways. You either are a couple, or you live separately and you just split those benefits. We stayed as a couple because I'm stupid, and I wanted to live separately. He said he didn't, which is hilarious. When we get to the end of this and you see all the shit he did, we could have avoided all of this if he would have just stuck with living separately. But anyways, so because I didn't expect this to be anything serious, I was not trying to, dig into him. I didn't know anything, didn't really care. And my mom decided to Google him, and unfortunately it was a little too late. It was already after we got married. And but that's how we found out his brother was on the sex offenders registry. And she just straight up was like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? And he had just explained it as there was a situation in his childhood, and his brother and sister just kind of ended up sleeping together. And that was it. And it was kind of like, okay. I mean, I wasn't him, so, and I'd never met his family. We were in California, they were in the Midwest. So it was like, great, I married into a weird fucking family, but like, they're nowhere near us, so okay. So it took me a while to figure out what exactly happened there, and I still don't even know all of the facts. And just to be safe, in case I get any details wrong, I'm gonna say allegedly. This all allegedly happened. But and I did ask the sister years later. I had asked her, how do you end up sleeping with your brother? I have 3 older brothers, and that never crossed my mind. I've never, ever even, I don't know, it baffled my mind. How does that happen? And she just told me that they were watching TV together, and one of them, I'm not sure who, said they wanted to know what sex felt like. And that's how it started. But yeah, that's all I knew. The beginning of our marriage, the first 2 years of our marriage, we were in California away from these people. I knew nothing. I had no idea. And within those 2 years, feelings developed and children came into the picture. And then we moved there. Then we moved to the Midwest. And that's when almost immediately, like probably within the first week of moving, it went downhill. And it was just, I've said it, everyone around me knows, moving to the Midwest was easily my biggest regret of my entire life. But I'm gonna end it there. I gotta go do some running around. Tomorrow my kids will be in school, so after the gym I will start recording full blown, like, let's get into this more, I guess. But there you go. Sorry it took so long, guys. Hey guys, I'm back a little early just because I needed to clarify a few things. I'm usually at work a lot later than this, and I go to the gym after, but I got off early, so here I am. And I didn't really realize I did not connect some dots for you guys. Hopefully you guys were able to piece it together. But yeah, I was talking about my ex-brother-in-law finding out he was on the registry, and I forgot to add that it was because he impregnated his sister twice. This was the second time. As far as I'm aware, nobody but the family knows about the first one. No law enforcement. But yeah. And allegedly, I've been told this from a number of the siblings, their mother knew, encouraged it. One of the sisters actually told me that when she went to their mom about this stuff happening, her mom told her that this is how siblings love each other. But yeah, so this one sister, 2 pregnancies by her brother, neither made it to term, which is a whole nother thing that I won't get into. But yeah, and from, again, allegedly, this is what I was told, that their mom was actually the one who called the police on the brother, and then turned around and got him supposedly this amazing lawyer and was able to knock this down. It was a much higher charge and he got it knocked down. I don't remember what it was. I'm pretty sure he was a class 2. I don't know what the verbiage is for that, but it wasn't good. And yeah. And then also I wanted to clarify, as far as I'm aware, nothing has happened as adults. And again, that's why I say it was really easy for me to go years and years and years of being married to this man and having no idea, because it all happened prior to me. And I don't know if anything happened as an adult. I highly suspect stuff happened with the siblings. I never ever suspected anything with him. There was a couple of incidents. One of his sisters worked at a Starbucks kiosk, and every time we would go in, she would make it a point to get up on the counter and get her face over the spit guard that they've got and kiss him on the lips. And I had to tell them, I understand kissing is normal in some families. I get that. My family has never been a lovey-dovey, touchy family. We'd probably slap each other if one of us tried to even shake hands. So I understand I'm hypersensitive to stuff like that. It's weird to me. But add in the fact that we knew what was going on with the brother and the sister. It was weird to me, and I had to tell him, we don't do that. Please don't do that. It makes me uncomfortable. I understand there might not be stuff going on. Didn't know. And he didn't like that. So that was the only issue that I had, any kind of, and I don't even want to say it was an inkling, because I did not suspect anything. It was weird to me, and I needed it to stop. If he wanted me to kiss him, he was not going to be kissing his sister. So, but yeah, that's why everything happened. I strongly suspect lots of stuff happened as adults between siblings. There was a lot of house hopping and bed hopping and weird stuff going on. Lots of weird stuff. And I don't know if they know how weird it is. It's kind of odd how normal they think it is, that they're all so open about it, and you're the weird one for thinking they're weird. But yeah, so there's that little tidbit. I'll be back tomorrow. I was in a car accident on Friday, and the insurance finally just got back that the other lady is taking care of it. So tomorrow I am going in to get it fixed, and after that I will record and I guess go on to the next chapter. I have no idea where to even start, but I guess I'll figure it out. So have a good night, guys.
Okay, so story time on how my man cheated on me. So the 13th, Friday the 13th of February, what's it called? I woke up, it's like 2 a.m. and I'm like, dang, why am I waking up right now? And like, I had this gut-wrenching feeling to go check his phone. And I've only had this feeling one other time, and the other time that I had this feeling, like, I saw something bad on his phone, but we kind of just, like, got over it because, like, it was, like, little and stuff, but, like, and, like, also, like, I did something wrong myself, so, what's it called? So, anyways, I unlock his phone, and I swipe up, and it opens this text message, and it's this girl showing a thumbs up. So, I send her a little text being like, hey, girly, like, why'd you send my man a thumbs up on his story? Like, cause, like, that made me seem like she was mad at him. Like, why is a girl mad at my man? So then, anyways, I'm going through his phone while I'm waiting for her to text me, and, like, he just started, he turned around and he started laying on me, and I'm, like, literally, like, trying to do detective work while he's laying on me, and I'm like, oh my god. So anyways, it's about to hit, I fall asleep for a second, because I was, like, tripping out, like, my heart was racing, like, I felt like I was about to have a heart attack. So anyways, I was like, okay, well, you know what, like, I need to calm down and stuff, you know, and so I did. And I got up, and he is, like, getting up for kind of work. Like, he's, like, sleeping still, but he's a little bit more awake. So, then, I get a text from her being like, I'm drunk right now, and I don't want to hurt your feelings. So, I'm like, bro, like, just shut up and, like, tell me what happened. Like, I was like, okay, well, you know, it won't hurt my feelings. I just really need to know the truth about my boyfriend, you know? Like, it's like, I'm a really big girl's girl, and I would really like if you were too, you know? So, anyways, so she keeps, like, playing with my feelings, and she keeps, like, saying, like, oh, well, me and him were talking recently and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, bro. And then, like, she kept, like, she was like, and he would be asking me for stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, like, and I told him, I was like, he was like, you okay, baby? And I was like, no, because you're about to be single, bro. And, like, he got up real quick, and he's like, what? And, like, we were arguing in the bathroom for a second, like, about it. Not bad. Like, we were just, like, he was like, I didn't do anything, though. I promise you. Like, I promise you. But I wasn't believing him because, like, this girl was like, I have proof. And I was like, okay, send the proof. And he was like, well, I need him to unblock me off Snap. And I knew that he was lying because he was like, I don't know her. But he did have her blocked on Snap. You know? And she followed him on Instagram. So anyways, I was like, alright, bro. So then I told him, I was like, you know what, that's okay. But, like, now, like, we're gonna have some problems. So I leave for work, and she keeps texting. I have to drop someone off somewhere, like, an hour away. Then I gotta drive up 2 hours, go get my tattoo, and this one. And then I gotta come all the way back, get my dad from work, and then go back to pick somebody up from where I dropped them off. And then I had to, what else? And then after that, I had to go to my man's house. We're arguing, by the way, the whole day. Like I could have been, like, a crazy crash out girlfriend. Like, I could have been going crazy. Like, I could have gone and bought Nair and, like messed up his whole life. But I didn't. I changed. Like, for him, I changed. Like, I was very calm. Like, I went shopping yesterday to calm myself down. And I was like, look, baby, like, look what I got. After I got told he cheated on me, like, I was being very calm, like, very calm. Like, he was like, it was scaring me, but I couldn't assume that because, one, we live together and he's always with me. And one of the days that she said that he was doing this, it was February 7th. We spent the whole day together. So I was like, what? So then after that, I was like, maybe this is a bot account. Like, do you have any exes that are crazy? And he has, like, only one. So we were trying to connect the dots, but I was like, no. I was like, you need to text her. And he was like, why would I text her? And I was like, I need you to text this girl and, like, talk to her and, like, get her to fess up that maybe she's lying. You know, so valid. That's very valid. So then he was like, okay, bet. So now it's like 4 o'clock. This has been going on since 2 a.m. I've been up since 2 a.m. Like, I didn't really sleep. So then I was like, okay, that's fine, you know, like, I'm gonna get some stuff done. Okay, I get my tattoo, I show him my tattoo, I go shopping, I'm back to picking up my dad, and like, when I was waiting for my dad to get out of work, I called my boyfriend, and I was like, hey, like, let's solve this, like, you know, like, you promised that you didn't do this, because I've had something like this happen to me. Like, I've had girls mess up my relationship because they were like, what's it called? They were like, oh, he was cheating on you. Or one time I was framed for cheating, and it sucked because we broke up over it, and I was labeled a cheater until the person fessed up later on, and like, all because she wanted to get with my man. So, you know, so I was like, all right, well, you know, like, let's figure this out. All right. So I'm going through the text, and I'm like, okay, well, you guys started talking in 2024. We got together like December 2025 to 2026. So we're a brand new couple. So she's like, he was talking to me January 26th and February 7th. That's all she kept telling me. And she would show me screenshots of like them texting, but like it would only have the time and not the date. And then she would send me screenshots of him like friend requesting her, but there was no date, just the time. And I was like, okay, maybe it was from that day. I was believing her because she had all this proof. So then, fast forward, I'm on my way home to pack my stuff and move out, and he sends me a screenshot. She fessed up to saying it was in 2025, like a whole year ago, and not recently. So like 2024 December and then 2025 January. And she was just lying about all of it, and like she knew what she was doing, and I was like, bro, why would you do that? So I was like I was freaking out the whole day, like, and so was my man. Like, he was like throwing up and stuff. He was like so anxious about it and stuff, like, because like when we break up, like, it actually takes like a toll on our mental health, because, and we've only broken up 2 times. The first time was because of what I saw on his phone, and then the second time this. So, you know, not bad. Like, it's always because it's like if we break up if there's anything relating to a girl, which is valid. And he understood where I was coming from, and I understood where he was coming from. So, but now we're together. It's Valentine's Day. He has to work the whole day, even though he was supposed to have off, but he has off tomorrow, and so do I. I have worked only in the morning today. So I think I might just, you know, surprise him with the nice decorated room for Valentine's Day.
I just found out that my husband got a girl that he was cheating on me with pregnant while I was in rehab, and had a baby with her, and has been keeping it a secret from me for a year. I'm happy that we got a divorce because I'm on the path that I want and I'm doing better. But like, the hurt in my heart, it's just
humble. You know what I'm saying? Calm down. Your girl just got discharged yesterday, and I'm feeling good, feeling great. But what do y'all think? Y'all, I just told y'all, I just found out this shit. I just got back home. Y'all think this shit is prepared back at the crib? You gotta give a bitch a minute. I gotta sort through shit, all types of shit. Hold on. But let's get into this motherfucking story time, because it's not just, it's not what y'all think. It's not just the, oh, she went to the hospital and she thought it was something else, and then it came out she was pregnant, she ended up having a baby. Boom. Like, that's a big boom, but bitch, the booming didn't start there. The boom started August of 2025. So let's get into it, because in order for it to make sense to y'all gonna have to sit down and listen, for real, for real. So let's get into it. Story time, August 2025. I found out, y'all ready? Because the shit start off straight like that. Like, it start off with bombs. 2025, August, I found out I was pregnant. Not only did I find out I was pregnant, boom, I'm 2 months at that when I found out. So if I found out in August, and I found out the day before my funeral, my godbrother's funeral, which was August 13th. So I found out August 12th that I was pregnant, and I was 2 months pregnant at that, 8 weeks to be exact. Which means that my conception date had to be somewhere around June, but back then it was questionable. So we didn't motherfucking know. to keep it very concise and keep my business as much business as I want y'all to know, I was also going through a breakup. I was going through a lot of stress because, like I said, I've lost my god brother. So it was just like, it was a lot of emotions going on. But mind you, the baby's father is also somebody that's abusive and who has like a very bad obsession with me. So it's not just like, you know, it's not just like I found out I was pregnant. Ooh, you get what I'm saying? Like, shit wasn't easy. You know what I'm saying? So I went through a lot of emotions. I was in a very, very bad depressive state. And September 13th, 2025, I found out that I had miscarried. So after I found out that I had miscarried, I didn't follow up with a doctor. Now that's my business and that's my fault, but I was going through all the shit that I was going through. Like, I couldn't face myself. I couldn't look myself in the mirror. Like, the shit that I was going through, like, first of all, can't nobody judge me but God. You know what I'm saying? I took pregnancy tests. They all came back false. Like I said, I was told that I had a miscarriage from a doctor. So that's just what the fuck it was. I didn't think nothing of it. Women's bodies are a puzzle. Like, everybody don't have to go through the same thing. Y'all know that, right? Like, I would hope so. Cause y'all acting a little slow. We're gonna have to pick it up a little bit. Cause I don't know what else to tell you. My thing is for all the people that's in the comments that's saying that they've heard something like this, why are you so surprised the motherfucker didn't catch a symptom? Hello. I mean, and then the background of my story also is like, who would be thinking about something like that? Who's thinking about a pregnancy after you just got told that you lost the baby? Why would I be thinking, oh, I must still be pregnant? No! Motherfuckers is asking about, oh, you didn't notice that you were bleeding. You weren't bleeding for 8 months. First of all, y'all sound very uneducated. No, I didn't. The fuck you want me to say? No, I didn't. I didn't notice that I wasn't bleeding for 8 months. Duh, bitch. Duh, I noticed. Me personally, I have very irregular periods. I don't have a period every month. I don't bleed heavy. I don't bleed all 7 days. But that ain't your motherfucking business. You know what I'm saying? And that's also not the only symptom. What else do people say? Other symptoms like your nipples hurting. My nipples was hurting, yes. But that's something that happens in the cold for me. In the cold, my nipples hurt. That's just what it is. Now, I did notice that my areolas were darker, but to remind you, I was pregnant back in August, had the miscarriage in September. So like, I'm already knowing that that's the reason that my nipples are dark. So that's just not a part of my concern. That's not what I'm thinking about. I'm going through too much shit to be thinking about a pregnancy after I was just told that I lost my child. Is it clicking? Is it clicking? I'm gonna need y'all, we all grown. I'm gonna need y'all to keep the fuck up, please and thank you. Thank you. So, back to the story. No, back to some more symptoms. People were saying, fuck it. I ain't gotta explain shit to you. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But people were saying like, okay, so as far as appearance wise, right? I'm a big bitch. I'm a plus size woman. I didn't know it's my stomach growing. No, I thought I was gaining weight. Fuck you want me to do other than talk about losing it? I don't know. So yeah, September 13th, I found out that I had miscarried or whatever. And then again, I'm still depressed. Mind you, I never got over the depression that I was going through with the situation with the baby daddy and all that extra stuff. Like, it's a lot going on. And I need y'all to understand that mental health is very motherfucking important, especially for someone like me who also does the job that I do. I work with autistic children, and that alone is a lot. I work 2 jobs, so I'm there from 9 in the morning to 9 at night working. Like, dealing with behaviors, getting thrown, kicked, like shit thrown at me, hit, kicked. So like, it's a lot that I'm dealing with. I'm not thinking about no other pregnancy after a motherfucker done told me that I lost my baby. I'm just mourning my baby. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, fast forward to March of 2026. We get into the story, right? So all throughout those months, I'm living my life, right? You know, I'm living my life. I have nothing to think about other than like trying to move forward and get to a better place than where I was at. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, emotionally, physically, you know what I'm saying? So it was a lot going on. March 2nd is when I started leaking, right? March 2nd, there's this clear discharge that's coming out of me, but it's not like coming out of me like a water breakage or nothing like that. Like nothing like that. Like I thought it was vaginal discharge. You know what I'm saying? So like I had to go to work that next morning. I had a long day. I'm like, fuck it. And it started in the evening after I had got off work. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to put a tampon in, sleep overnight, go to work in the morning. It is what it is. Get checked out later in the day after I get off work. So essentially that's what I ended up doing. I ended up staying home that first night, you know, and then by the morning the leaking had kind of stopped. Like it was there, but it wasn't like as bad as it was the night before. So, you know, your girl cleaned herself up, did her little morning routine, whatever, took my ass to motherfucking work. Go make that money. Fuck is you talking about? I want to go make that money, honey. So I want to go make the money. And then I get home around 8:30, 9 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? My typical time that I get home, and I mean, coochie wet, coochie soaked. I don't know what's going on. I put it in reverse, Terry, because I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And yesterday, it wasn't as bad. So why today is and all over kids and shit? I gotta sit down on this equipment and stuff. I can't be on this mug wet. Like, you know, luckily it was already the end of my day. And like I'm very big on my hygiene, so like I'm continuously cleaning myself up, but I'm just like, you know, it's not that bad while I'm at work. Once I get home is when it get a little crazy. So I'm starting to, you know, chat GBT my symptoms and shit, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and the only thing that's coming up is amniotic fluid water breakage. So I knew that wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? I knew that. I automatically knew that wasn't it. But I also know that I'm leaking. So something just told me, let me go to the hospital and get a doctor's note, because I got a feeling that this shit ain't going to be cleared up by tomorrow. So, like, let me go get a doctor's note, call off work, and that's just how it went. End up going to the hospital, right? And, they immediately, like when I walked through the door, I immediately felt that flush again. You know what I'm saying? And they were able to see it because I had on dark pants, but like they were able to see it. And I think right there, they kind of knew what was going on, because I was very vulnerable with them. Like, you know, you're at a hospital, so you need to be vulnerable and tell them what the fuck is going on with you. So I told them about the pregnancy in August. I told them about the miscarriage. I was very transparent with them about everything. And I think from their perspective, like they knew, but to me, I'm still like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just need y'all to get me back there. So they end up making me a priority, which kind of had me like, because all these people's in their waiting, and y'all hurried up and put me in here. So I'm like, okay, what the fuck am I dying? Like, what the fuck is going on? So when they put me back there, they immediately took me for an ultrasound. I said, an ultrasound? Okay, well, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, the way I'm going fast into it. You know, the way the doctor explained it was like, at first their thought was, hearing my story, maybe it was a pregnancy with twins, and maybe one twin was hiding behind the sack or something. Like, so they immediately did an ultrasound or whatever. They did the ultrasound, and at first he didn't want to say nothing to me, right? So at first he's looking at the ultrasound and he's like, and he's talking to the other lady, like, in terminology that I don't know, because I don't work in that field. And I'm just like, okay, so what's going on? Like, is there something wrong? Like, is something wrong with my uterus? Like, what's going on? And he ended up walking out the room. So at this point, I'm a little irritated, because I'm trying to figure out what's going on with me. They're trying to figure out what's going on with me. And, like, me giving them that insight of the story, it's like they putting the puzzle pieces together, but they're not letting me in on the secret. So I'm a little pissed at this point. But, you know, I chill out. Next thing I know, the lady come and she pressed something, accidentally pressed the motherfucking heartbeat. I said, what? I said, now, baby, what the fuck is that noise? Where's that coming from? Because it was in like a you know, area where there's people next to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's people next to me talking about what they got going on, the next symptoms and stuff. So I'm saying, who that's for? Huh? Who is that for? Like, what's that? And they end up transferring me to a whole other room where it's a little bit more privacy. And here come a doctor. I said, okay, so doctor, can I get a work note for tomorrow? Because I really don't think that I'm going to make it, especially with what's going on with my coochie. And he said, oh, you won't be leaving here until you deliver a baby. That was his exact words. Who? I'm going to keep saying it because who and how? How? There's no possible way. After my miscarriage, I was not sexually active with nobody. There's literally no possible way. So in my head, all these who's and how's and oh's, yeah, that's really what the fuck it was for me. How? Cause baby, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. I think you got the wrong person. Cause I don't know what you're talking about. I gotta go to work tomorrow. Matter of fact, you know what? Fuck the no. I just go to work if it's all that. You playing like that and shit. We ain't even got to go this far. For real, if you ask me. So, he like, no. From the looks of it, you look, we don't know exactly what you are, but we know for a fact that you're definitely past 20 weeks. I said 20? 20 weeks? Who? Like the who's wasn't stopping y'all. Who? I'm telling y'all, I'm asking this man who, and he looking at me like, yeah, you won't be getting out of here, and this leakage is your water breaking, so the process has already started. The process is what? Ain't no way. I said ain't no way. There's literally absolutely no way. This cannot be possible, because my water broke? Like, whose? Y'all, I kid y'all not. I end up pulling out that ultrasound so motherfucking fast from August, like, this the only thing it could be. This the only thing it could be. But I'm asking the doctor, like, how is that possible? Because I got told it was a miscarriage. I took pregnancy tests after. They all came up as nothing, nada, nope. So I'm trying to figure out, how is this even possible? Now, me, I don't question God. I do not question God. But in that moment, listen here. Somebody gonna have to figure something out. So I'm stunned. The bitch was too stunned to speak. I tell you that for sure. I was too stunned to speak. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to feel, because you gotta think about it. Like, I just mourned this baby. My mother mourned this baby. I had to watch my mama mourn this baby. That, like, y'all, I don't want to get emotional, but like, I don't think people really understand. Like, this is not just no, oh, you found out you're pregnant, oh, this is a big blessing. Like, no, I have nothing. I have no baby clothes. I have nothing. And y'all telling me that I'm not leaving this hospital until I have a baby. Like, my house is not ready. Like, my room is not ready. I have nothing. I ain't got no bottles, no diapers. I have no time to prepare. So, like, the shit had got real motherfucking serious for me, y'all. Like, it was bad. It was bad. And then I just got to thinking about how bad it was for me in my depression state when I was mourning the miscarriage. So it was like, all of that was for nothing? Like, ooh, y'all. Ooh. It just felt like all of that was for nothing. Whew. Okay, so after a while, the doctor ended up, it ended up taking a little bit, but he ended up coming up with 32 weeks, right? They thought I was 32 weeks. Haha, another bomb, because definitely wasn't 32 weeks. I was more than that. So he thought I was 32 weeks, and he's like, okay, well, the most we can do is do 40 weeks, like, because he was telling me how it goes for other people that still have more time in their term. And he's like, usually we try to get to 40 weeks, you know what I'm saying? It could take about a month, da 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 da. So I automatically think, okay, like, if I'm 32 weeks, I don't know what's going on, but literally this is what you're telling me, that this is happening and that I am 32 weeks. So I got a month to prepare. Like, that's after he said that month, something about a month. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I got a month to prepare. He said, no, honey, your water broke. And by that time, they ended up finding out that I was 36 weeks and 6 days. That next day would have made me 37 weeks, would have put me at 9 months. I was 9 months pregnant. I was 8 months pregnant when I walked through that bitch. By the second day, I was 9 months pregnant. That next day, I had my baby. That very next day, I had my child. So within 48 hours, I had a baby. Whole time, I thought I suffered a miscarriage. My baby was in my belly. I mourned my son, and he was with me the whole time. Now, like I said, I don't question God. I don't know how. I don't know how. Because I'm one of God's strongest soldiers. God don't play about me. Let me tell you something. If it's one thing I know, God don't play about me. And I don't know. It's like, I'm trying to figure out how to word it without getting too emotional in this moment, because I know a lot of people will watch this and not understand. They just wanted to know what happened. They wanted to know a story time on how the fuck I didn't know. So I don't want to get too emotional with it, but I still want people that are here for education purposes to understand that this is possible. I don't know how it's possible, but it is. And it's not our place to question it, because the plans that God has for us are not the plans that we have for ourselves. And I just want to say that I am blessed. I am grateful for things working out the way they were, the way that they did work out. My biggest support system is my family. My family showed up, showed out. It was a surprise for everybody. It was a surprise for my mom, my grandma, my entire family. Everybody showed up at that hospital immediately after. Everybody started paying and buying stuff, and I mean, we still don't have much, but at this point, it's on me now. Now I'm at the point where I've got enough to give my baby a good first month. And we gonna ride it out. We gonna get through it. We gonna ride it out, because that baby is loved, y'all. That baby is loved, and that baby ain't gonna want for nothing. My family and us, we make it happen. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that when I was in the hospital, all I could think about was I have nothing. And then I went through a C-section at that. I couldn't push because I couldn't dilate. It took me over 24 hours to dilate over a centimeter, 1 centimeter. My baby did not like when I would have contractions. You know, they had to monitor my baby's heart because my baby is small. He came out 4.6 pounds. He's now 4.8 and growing strong, and he's beautiful. So I'm gonna post my baby so y'all can see him, and I hope y'all really stick around with this journey, because it's me and him against the world, and I'm gonna post all the motherfucking about it, because I love my baby and I'm so blessed to have him here, because I did not think I mourned him. So now I'm about to celebrate him just as bad as I mourned him. It's like that. So there's the story time. That's how I found out. I was 8 months pregnant. Like I said, I went in there March 2nd, March 4th at 9:04 p.m. I birthed my baby. Like I said, it's a lot of bombs that was dropped in that story time. It wasn't just about going to the hospital because I thought I had a cough. No, baby. No, it wasn't just about finding out that I was 8 months pregnant and I was about to give birth 2 days after. No, baby. We suffered the 2 losses right before. We suffered a lot throughout this shit. You know what I'm saying? So let me know. Comment down below. Stick around for the motherfucking journey too, because like I said, me and my baby look, I'm going to celebrate him just as much as I mourned him. Fuck you mean? God blessed me with him. Oh, y'all. Stay tuned. I'll be that bum, baby. We're back.
Guys, I went on the worst date that I've ever had last night. Let me set the scene for you. He's 29. I'm 21. Okay? He asks me to pick him up. And then when I get there, I'm like, "Okay, I'm here." He calls me. He goes, "Where?" I'm like, "I'm literally parked. It's an apartment complex. Where the fuck do you want me to go?" He goes, "I'm at the address that I sent you." So am I. It's an apartment complex. So he gets into my car, immediately judges it. Like, "Of course you drive a Subaru." What do you mean, of course I drive a Subaru? I also kiss girls. Of course I fucking drive a Subaru. He then asks me, "Where are we going?" "Sir, you planned it. You planned this. You are supposed to know where we are going. Thank God that the bar that we decided to go to was literally 5 minutes from his place. Thank God. We get to the bar, okay? We sit at the bar because this guy didn't want to sit at a table because he thought dinner dates were stupid. And I told him, I've never been on a proper dinner date. He goes, well, they're stupid, so we're not gonna do that. Okay, so we sit at the bar. He's like rubbing my back, kind of touching it. I'm like, why are you touching me? But he rubs my back. He goes, oh my God, you have a new tattoo back here. I said, yeah, I just got it. He goes, does it hurt? Yeah, you're touching it. Stop touching it. It hurts. So he stops. And we then start talking about tattoos because he has a full sleeve. So I'm asking, like, what's your favorite part of your sleeve? Blah, 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 blah. And then he's asking me about my arm tattoos that I have. And then he goes, yeah, then you have this one. Lifted my whole shirt to show the entire bar my entire back. Stop! No! Who even has the audacity to do such a thing? Don't touch me. Oh, but he still touches. Grabbing at my waist, like, weirdly, like, grabbing my arms and, like, my chest, and, like, absolutely not. He goes, oh, so when do I get to meet your puppy? Said, we can do that later. Like, I'm not a girl that takes you home on the first date. I'm also tired. He goes, well, you were talking such big game. Excuse me? Did you think you were worthy of my game? And our pizza comes out, right? And I eat my pizza. He goes, are you gonna eat all of that? Damn, I was gonna. Now I don't know anymore. You're asking me weird questions. Don't never ask a woman if she's gonna eat her full fucking meal. 'Cause we are! Anyways, he keeps asking, oh, are you gonna eat your full meal? Are you gonna eat the full thing? And then when he comes back from the bathroom and I finish my pizza, he was like, oh, you did it. Yeah, of course I did it. I'm an adult. I can finish a pizza that's 11 inches. What the fuck are you talking about? It gets worse. The waitress comes up. She goes, okay, guys, ready for your bill? He goes, yeah, do you guys take Apple Pay? She says no. He goes, oh, and just looks at me. I pay for dinner! This man is 29, and you didn't bring your card to a date that you planned and have been bugging me about? So I take him home. I'm driving him home. He goes, wow, I thought we were gonna like hang out or like listen to music or something. So we could probably do that later, but not tonight. He got so butthurt. He was like, I don't even get to kiss you. I'm like, you haven't even asked. You haven't tried. No. He does kiss me, but terrible kisser. Absolutely horrible. Also, in his car at this point, he's like going through our text to try to find my big game talk. Want to know the best part? Doesn't have my number saved. As soon as he's out of my car, he calls me. Hey, I forgot something. I look over. There are not keys or anything on my seat. There is a box. Like a weird rectangle shaped box. Homie didn't have keys for his house or like a fob for his garage door. This dude decided to take the full garage door opener off of his wall and puts it in his pocket as his key. What? Never in my life have I seen that before. I mean, it's an idea. You used your brain for something. Also, this is petty and it's little and it means nothing. But after our date, I was like, oh my God, is Fear Factory down? Like a haunted house that I like, oh my God, it's down that street. Like I'm realizing where we are. He goes, yeah, that's the one next to my house. I said, no, that one's Nightmare on 13th. He goes, yeah, they're the same thing. And I said, absolutely not. Actually, I worked at Nightmare. Fear Factory is completely fucking different, and it's actually a bit cooler, in my opinion, because I didn't work there. I think I know my things, especially as a girl who is obsessed with haunted houses and just Halloween in general. I think I would know the different haunted houses. Stop saying that I don't know my shit when obviously you don't know your shit. You live right there. You are supposed to know your fucking shit, but you do not! Excuse me. Chat, I promise I'm not yelling at you. To top it all off, I obviously blocked this guy, but to top it all off, I go to my wallet this morning. My card isn't there. I left it at the bar! Because I was so excited just to get out of his space, to get out of his aura, get away from him. Anyways, I think I'm not gonna date for a minute, because apparently 29-year-olds don't know anything. I thought older would know things. They don't. And now I'm tempted to go back to the guys that are really bad for me. But I'm not. The amount of love and support that I've gotten on this video is actually insane. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you for agreeing with me that is such a shit date. Literally the worst one I've ever been on. And I've been on some bad ones. That one takes the fucking cake though. Anyways, for those wondering why did I? I'm a people pleaser. When there are plans, I attempt fullest to complete those plans, especially when I'm there. I got the gut feeling when he judged me for my car that I should just tell him to get out and leave. I really should have. It would have saved me money, time, energy, all the things, my sanity it would have saved, but sadly I didn't. But now it's just a story. It's a story that we get to tell, that we get to have some silly ha-has with. Don't worry guys, his number is fully blocked. He also unmatched with me on things. I went back in and tried to unmatch. He was already gone. Thank the Lord. Anyways, if anybody wants to date a 29-year-old named Clay that lives right next to Nightmare on 13th in Salt Lake City, Utah, make sure he has a terrible time. Make sure it's awful. Because that was awful.
I'm going to give you a story time on one of the most traumatic experiences I've ever had regarding housing as a renter in the city of Philadelphia. If you're someone that likes a story with lots of twists and turns, then buckle up. We're about to get into it. The year was 2016. I was living in an apartment building in Fishtown, if you're familiar. And I had 2 roommates, and we came home the day after Thanksgiving to find out that our apartment had caught on fire. This is not the story. This is just the setting the stage of the story, but it is relevant. So we come home, we find out our apartment has caught on fire, a lot of damage, and our landlord had a vacant property nearby, a row home, and he offered to have us stay there temporarily until our apartment was repaired and livable again. So we move into this house, and after a short while, we decide that we like it. We like the row home much better than the apartment, and there's 3 of us in this house. It is a 4-bedroom, and we decide we're going to find a 4th roommate, and we're going to stay put. We like it here. The caveat to this house is that it was not as nice of an area, and the house that was directly next door in the row home was abandoned. This didn't raise too many red flags for us, as we had been living in the city for quite some time. We were in our 20s. We really didn't have much fear in us at that time, so it didn't raise any flags for us. So just to paint the picture, the house next door to us was had definitely been abandoned for quite some time. There was no back wall on the entire house, so you could see every floor from the outside, and there was lots of spray paint, trash, it had been uninhabited for quite some time. There was even a tree growing through the house. And there would be these contractors that would show up every once in a while, very sporadically. And they would do a lot of work that we didn't make sense to us. I remember one day contractors showed up and they put new windows in a house that has no back walls. I just thought that was really odd. And at some point, the work being done on the house started to pick up. More contractors were showing up, doing more work. It seemed like different people every time. They were disposing of all the trash into the backyard of the abandoned house, which we shared a fence with. And after a few months of this going on, the trash in the backyard started to pile up to like be higher, like go over the fence. And it was causing our fence to kind of bow and buckle because there was just so much trash. And that same day, I noticed that there was contractors digging out the basement, like digging dirt out the basement window and then like into a truck out front. And I didn't know anything about this kind of work at the time. I know a lot about it now. It's called underpinning, and you definitely need permits for something like this because it can be very dangerous. So I didn't know that, but it did seem peculiar. So I called my landlord that day and I told him about the trash in the backyard and the digging out of the basement that they were doing. And he asked me to go out front to see if there was any permits posted. I did, and there were none to be seen. So my landlord told me to like hang tight and that he would be by in the morning to look at it himself. So that night we all went to bed, and around 2:00 in the morning, I woke up to my roommate banging on my bedroom door saying, "Chrissy, the fire department is here and we need to evacuate immediately." I didn't understand what was happening, so I ran downstairs and I opened up the front door, and sure enough, the fire department was there. There was caution tape everywhere, and there was even a news team there already, and the police. And the fire department was standing on the other side of the street, and they were yelling at us that the house next door was collapsing and that we needed to get out immediately. So we had 3 cats in the house. We got them all into carriers. There was 3 of the 4 roommates were there that night, and we all packed like overnight bags really quickly, and we just ran out of the house. We got to the other side of the street and turned around and looked at our house, and like sure enough, the house next door was just like dropping bricks. Like it was just, you could hear it crumbling and cracking. I think just like someone had been passing by and walking by that night and saw what was happening and called 911. The police, they ended up calling like this animal, like team that came and like picked up our cats. It was like an emergency like cat shelter. And I'm really grateful for them that they did that. So we got our cats situated and we all found places to stay for the night. We woke up in the morning fully expecting to be able to just go home. When we arrived back at our house the next day, we could see that the entire front of the abandoned house had completely fallen, and that there was this huge sticker, orange sticker from L&I, License and Inspections, on our front door saying that, or, do not enter, that there was like some kind of danger. I'm going to put in a picture so you can see this is what we like arrived to. You can see the abandoned house and then our house next door with the sticker. So I called the number on the sticker and got a hold of someone, and they told us that our house was deemed not safe, that it was also at risk of collapsing, and we would not be able to go back inside until repairs were made and that it passed an inspection. They told us that this could take a few days, and that's just not what happened. Not at all. It took much longer than that. And I'm going to stop here and go to the next part. It gets so much worse, you guys. This is just the beginning. So stay tuned. Okay, part 2 of my housing nightmare. So we're kicked out of our house. We're not allowed back in. We keep checking in every few days, calling L&I, License and Inspections, looking for an update. And they just keep saying, "I'm sorry, there's no update. It's probably going to be a few more days." While this is happening, all my roommates and I were all split up. We're all staying with various significant others or friends. And I'm staying with my boyfriend. who lives close by. So I'm doing drive-bys past the house every couple days just to check on things. Another important part is that my neighbor is a man named Jose. So here's the corner of the street. Here's Jose's house. He has an empty lot. Here's the abandoned house, and then my house. So there is a yard in between his house and the abandoned house. So every day, every few days, I'm stopping by, I'm checking in with Jose, seeing how they're doing. And one day I'm chatting with him, and at this point, we've been out of the house for a good week or two. And I decide I'm going to go walk up onto our front steps and just peer through the window of our house just to see what I can see since we can't go in. And I press my little face up to the window to look through the door. And as I do that, the door opens. And I'm like, that's weird. And so I push the door open. So the door is just wide open. So I step inside and peek my head in and take a quick look around. And the first thing I notice is that our TV is gone and our furniture is gone as well. I run out of the house and I yell for Jose, and we call the police. The police arrive a million years later, and then even though we're not supposed to go into the house, we end up going in with the police officers and taking a look at like what has been going on in our house. Now, at this point, it's clear that because there was that huge orange sticker on our front door, it was very apparent that the house was completely empty because it says on the sticker on the door, no one's allowed in here. So someone took that as an opportunity to let themselves in. They had broken in through a window. We go into our house and someone had been in there for like days, if not weeks. There was groceries in our house that were bought at the grocery store across the street. There was lots of trash. Like, it was very apparent that someone had been there for days. My roommate's jewelry was missing, our TV, some furniture. I went up to my bedroom and there was just like Newport cigarette butts all over my bedroom floor. Another weird thing that happened was we all collectively had like some luggage in the basement, which whoever was in our house brought upstairs to the kitchen, cut off all the airline tags on the luggage. And one of my roommates' dad owned a farm, and every time she would go home to visit her dad, he would send her back to Philly with a bunch of frozen meat. So we had a freezer full of frozen meat, and whoever broke into our house stole all the meat out of our freezer and packed it into the luggage, because we found all the tags in front of the freezer. So I file a police report, and I really just don't know what else to do at this point. And a few days later, I get an anonymous Facebook message from just like an empty Facebook profile. And it said, "Hi, I live around the corner from you. I know who broke into your house. His name is Leprechaun." Yes, Leprechaun. So I don't know what to do with this information. I call the detective on the police report and I give him a call. And I tell him, "Hey, I got this anonymous tip that the person that broke into my house, his name is Leprechaun." And this man literally started cackling, and basically hung up on me. And then 10 minutes later, he called me back and he said, "I'm really sorry. I talked to my sergeant, and there is in fact a guy named Leprechaun that breaks into houses in your area. We're going to go take a look for him." I also told Jose, I said, "Jose, I got this message on Facebook. Someone said that a guy named Leprechaun broke into our house." And his immediate reaction was, "Lep? Lep wouldn't do that." Turns out he was paying a homeless guy named Leprechaun to clean up, his like front steps and sidewalk. So there was in fact a guy named Leprechaun that was around. So some days passed. We're still not allowed back into our house. My landlord starts putting bars on all of our windows at this point. There's no update from the police. We never find out anything more about Leprechaun. I'm going to stop here. We can go to the next part. Guys, it just keeps getting worse. I promise you it's not over. Okay, part 3 of my housing nightmare. If you have not seen part 1 and 2, go back and look. So at this point, the house has been broken into. We've been couch surfing for almost 3 weeks and with just no end in sight. And honestly, even if the house were to be cleared safe and we were told that we could return, at this point, I don't even know if I want to go there because the house was broken into and it feels unsafe. At this point, my landlord then puts us into another temporary housing at a vacant property, and my one roommate and I are staying there. And we still don't have our cats either. It's been like 3 weeks, and our cats are still staying at this like emergency cat service thing that the city offered. And we're just sleeping on an air mattress in a vacant house. So one Saturday, again, like three weeks into this whole mess, my neighbor Jose calls me. He said that there was a crew of people working on the abandoned house, trying to, I guess, take down the rest of the house. And there was a side wall that was still standing. And I'm gonna, if you don't remember from the last video, I'm gonna re-explain the layout here. Again, the corner, Jose's house. Empty lot, abandoned house. My house. The empty lot in between Jose's house and the abandoned house was Jose's yard. There was a standing wall, and there was a crew working on the abandoned house, and something went wrong, and the wall fell into Jose's yard, crushing his car, his shed, and his dog. Not only did it crush his dog, the wall hit his house and cracked the side of his house. At this point, I'm like, I can't take any more. How much more can go wrong? So I immediately hop in the car and I drive over to assess what is going on. Jose's dog was this like beautiful black dog named Magic. He was very old. He also had a cat that he thinks also perished in the rubble because his cat was never seen again. Okay, I'm going to insert some pictures I took that day. As you can see the house here, like that crew, I guess they were just trying to like dismantle the rest of the building and to like take it down strategically. But something went wrong and that entire side of the building came crashing down into the yard. You can see in these pictures, there's just bricks everywhere. People were digging and looking for Magic, the dog, and for hours, and we just couldn't find him. It was finally decided that Magic definitely could not have survived the impact of that wall coming down on him, and Jose was devastated. I mean, like, I've never seen this man cry, and he was in tears. At this point, I just didn't know what else to do. I asked Jose about, how he was going to move forward with this company that had caused so much damage for him and his house. And he just said that they told him that they're going to take care of him. And that just didn't sit right with me. I didn't want my neighbor to be taken advantage of by these people. I wanted to make sure that he was compensated for the damage done to his home and the fact that his dog was killed. I was at my wit's end. So I went onto my neighborhood Facebook page and I made a post asking for help and guidance, looking for maybe a real estate lawyer in my neighborhood, someone that could give me legal advice on how to move forward. And as you can imagine, people were upset, especially now that Jose's lost his pet. A day or so goes by and I'm at work and Jose calls me and tells me that the crew that was responsible for the wall falling had told them that they were going to hire a company to come clean up his yard. And the cleanup had started that day, and they started removing some of the rubble, and they found Magic alive under the bricks. He said he was in really bad shape and that he didn't know if he was going to make it, but in this moment, he was alive. I hopped back onto that Facebook post that got a lot of attention in my neighborhood, and I made an update. I said, everyone, Magic is alive. We need help. And I immediately set up a GoFundMe and asked if anyone in our neighborhood was a vet or worked at a vet hospital. Okay, go to part 4.
My fiance is mad at me right now for something that I did in his dream. And no, I did not cheat on him in his dream. It wasn't anything like that. It was just that I knew more about football.
You were rude about it too.
What? Okay.
Part 4 of my housing nightmare. If you haven't seen the other parts, go back and watch. So at this point, Magic has been found. He is alive, but not well. And I update the Facebook post because I know that we're going to need help. I know that Magic is going to need to go to the hospital. And I set up a GoFundMe. Within 30 minutes, people are contributing, flooding the comments on this thread, offering help. And one person who lived in my neighborhood said that they work at an animal hospital and that they would be willing to come to the house to see Magic in person. My inbox starts getting flooded with messages at this point from local news channels asking to interview me, to interview Jose. They want to know my address. They want to know Jose's address. All of this starts making me pretty uncomfortable because, again, this is Jose's story to tell at this point, and he hasn't given me permission to invite the news over to his house. So the whole thing feels kind of slimy to me, and I don't answer the messages. I was in the office at my work, and I probably had updated that post within 1 hour prior, and I get a call from downstairs at my work, and they're like, Chrissy, Channel 6 News is here, and they're asking for you. I guess they saw where I worked from my Facebook, and again, I wasn't really interested in speaking with them. It wasn't my story to tell. It was Jose's, and I snuck out the back. I got into my car and I drove back to my house, and as soon as I pulled up, I could see that there was already news vans there. Still not really sure how they figured out where I lived. So anyway, a guy who lives in my neighborhood who worked at an animal hospital met me at Jose's house, and when we got there, Jose had Magic in his living room on like a rug. I'm gonna put in some pictures of what Magic looked like. If this kind of thing would make you upset, please, this is your trigger warning. This was when they pulled Magic from the rubble. They put him on this carpet and then brought him inside. This is when the news crew was here and he was about to be examined by the vet. I'm also going to insert a clip from what was aired on the news about Magic.
At that time, the house next door slowly started collapsing bit by bit until it completely came down today. Buried in the rubble and feared dead was Jose Gonzalez Sr., 16-year-old American Pit Bull Terrier Magic.
And everybody pronounced him dead.
But then, as the demolition crew was clearing the rubble,
I see like something black. And I'm stopped. I told my guy, hold on, I think the dog is alive. I see something moving.
Sure enough, Magic was alive, badly injured, but alive.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely dehydrated.
After being buried in the rubble, a veterinarian says Magic tries to lift himself up, but is too weak and dehydrated, but thinks he'll be all right.
It was like a blessing, and it makes me a believer.
It was incredible that Magic survived that because he was 16 years old. And after he got examined by that vet, the vet put him into his personal vehicle and drove him to the animal hospital, where he stayed for weeks being rehabbed back to health. They sent me some picture and video updates while that was happening, so I'll show those to you guys as well.
How you doing, buddy?
After a few weeks at the hospital, Magic was brought back to Jose and they were reunited. Sadly, Jose's cat was never seen again. We found ourselves at around, I think, over 30 days. It was over a month, and we still had not been given the okay to return to our house. At that point, I decided that I just didn't want to return to that house, that I just didn't feel good about going back there, and I made different plans for myself and decided to move out officially. That had to have been the longest month of my life. I couldn't, I just felt like I was constantly getting like punched in the face by life. Thank you for joining my story time. And if you like stories like these, I have a lot of them, so stick around.
Does anyone else base whether they're going to buy something off of how many McChickens you could get with that money? Like, I'll be like, oh my gosh, this shirt is so cute, right? But I could probably get 20 McChickens out of this, so it's probably going to be a no because that's enough to feed a small army. Is it just me? It's not just me, right? Let me know.
So for Christmas of 2021, as a stocking stuffer, my husband got me an Ancestry DNA kit. He got two, one for himself, another one for me. The only reason that he got them was I asked him for it. And the only reason that I asked him for an Ancestry kit was I literally just wanted to see where my ancestors came from. I wasn't skeptical or curious or looking for people. I was thinking about locations. I'm like, I wonder if my ancestors came from a spot that I didn't know about. My husband actually thought it was a stupid gift, and he told me so, but he's like, I'll get you one anyway. So he gets two, one for himself, another one for me, puts them in the stocking. And right after Christmas of 21, we both test. And it takes about a week or two for the results to come back. Initially, when my results came back, there was nothing that out of the ordinary. It said I was 100% Ashkenazi Jewish, which I knew. Both of my parents were Jewish from Eastern Europe. The only one off on my test results was a woman. A woman appeared as a first cousin. I don't have first cousins. Both of my parents are only children. I have no aunts, no uncles, no first cousins. And there's a tiny little thumbnail picture of this woman, but even in this tiny picture, it is glaringly obvious that there is a striking resemblance between this woman and myself. She has the same hair. I know, distinctive hair, same profile and jawline, different face, and she's clearly much younger. But there's a resemblance, striking resemblance to me. So I message her through Ancestry. I'm like, excuse me, I said, you are showing up as a first cousin. I'm just curious as to who you are. She doesn't check her Ancestry messages. I don't hear back from her. So along with the little picture on Ancestry, it had her name. So I find her LinkedIn profile. There's a larger picture of her. So I show this picture to my mother. I'm like, Mom, who is this woman? My mother shrugs her shoulders. She says, I have no idea who that is. All right. I don't know who she is. She's not responding to an Ancestry message. Can't identify her that way. My mother doesn't know who she is. No one can identify her. I forget about it. Whatever. We actually kind of laughed about it because it was a, quote, not so secret that back in the day, my grandfather had multiple affairs. That's why my grandparents got divorced. So I'm like, oh, this woman. I said, this woman, she's the result of a seedy affair. We laughed about it. It kind of became a family joke. But it was my husband. It was my husband who looked at me one day and said, what if it wasn't your grandfather? What if it was somebody else? Like, who? No one knew. We forgot about it. I move on. Fast forward to January of last year, of 2025. This same woman messages me through Facebook. She says, hello. So I checked my Ancestry messages, and she goes, on my dashboard, she goes, you're showing up as a half sibling. She said, my father was a doctor, but in the late 60s, early 70s, as a way to pay for medical school, he was a sperm donor. She said, you look just like my aunt, and we are related. I read the message. I show the message to my husband with 2 questions. Said, first of all, is that same woman? That was question 1. Question 2 is, am I reading this correctly? So first he looks at the picture because Facebook comes with a profile picture, and yes, he says that that's absolutely the same woman. And I said, am I reading this correctly? He goes, oh, he goes, ask this woman if she's willing to talk to us. I message her back, would you talk to me and my husband? She says, absolutely. So I have her on speakerphone, sitting at the kitchen island with my husband, and this woman starts saying everything. She's saying, if you check your ancestry messages, your dashboard, she said, you and I are showing up as half siblings. She said, my father was a doctor. He recently passed away. She said, but in the late 60s, early 70s, as a way to pay for medical school, he was a sperm donor. She said, he was a donor for years. You look just like my aunt. You look just like me. She's saying everything. And as she's saying everything at the kitchen island, I'm nodding my head. I'm like, okay. My husband turns and looks at me and says, you're not Marty's daughter. Now, I see my husband looking at me. I see his lips moving. I hear his voice. What he's saying to me is so incomprehensible to me. I can't process his words. I was a 52-year-old married mother of 2 teenagers in suburban New Jersey. Things like this just don't happen. We end the call with this woman. Her name is Francesca. We end the call with Francesca. I thank her for calling. And I'm sitting at the kitchen island, speechless. Like someone just dropped a bomb in my kitchen. I look at my husband. I'm like, this is the most insane thing I've ever heard in my entire life. I can't believe this. I said, but I've been getting all the emails. He goes, what emails? I said, the ancestry emails, I'm getting them. He looks at me again. He goes, what emails? My husband's name is Christopher. Like, Christopher. I said, I don't know. For the last 3.5 years since we've been on Ancestry, 2 to 3 times a week, I get an email notification. You have a new cousin. You have a new connection. My husband looks at me. He goes, I have been with you on Ancestry for the last 3.5 years. I've never gotten an email. So to end the email debate, he pulls up his Ancestry page. He had 3 connections. It was him, his father, and his sister. 3. Then we pulled up my Ancestry page. On my Ancestry DNA page, I had over 225,000 connections. Yeah. Let that sink in.